Welcome back, everybody. It's the Ultimate Pool British Open. We are still in the quarter-final stage, and the Great White Sharky is smelling a semi-final. He's got some work to do, though. Jordan Shepherd is the man in his way. Another quarter-final for Sheppy, and this is the match for the right to go to the semi-final, for the right to play either Shaun Sharkey or Callum Singleton. The first semi-final is set. Cole Bedford against Christy Caulfield, finished with Cole Bedford getting the win and Rab McCullough coming through 6-0 against Scott Pope. It means our first semi-final, Chaos Cole Bedford, Big Rab Mac. The British Open final spot. Stephen Jameson and Tony Holgate with you for this one. Shaun Sharkey came through. Kevin George in the last 16, who had some run, had Kevin, so he must have played really well. Did Shaun to get through. He won through 6-2. Jordan Shepherd got through against Carl Sutton 6-3. And here we go for a spot in the semi-final. Jordan Shepherd breaking off against Shaun Sharkey. Lovely cue ball from Sheppy. Deserved a ball, got one. At first glance, a fairly presentable opportunity.
Yellows for me. That would be my choice, just purely because of that red at the top of the table. I don't really want to go up there and try and get on that. Yellows look just a little more inviting. And Jordan Shepherd agrees. Just gone a tad further than he would have liked, but he's okay. That's a very nice shot. He's on the yellow next to the black, and he has a perfect angle just to pop this into the top left-hand corner. And then come down and negotiate the last two yellows. The black is dead over that pocket. He's only got to get anywhere near that, and it's a tap-in. Oh, wow. Jordan. Well, didn't see that coming.
No. Yeah, I'd almost mentally written that one off myself, to be honest. That is a surprise. Shaun Sharkey's going to get a go in this first frame, and it's a decent chance, especially with where he was left. He's been left in about the kindest position he could have, really. This is a nice little finish from here. He does have a little bit of work. The red just above the two yellows. Needs a bump or needs landing onto the bottom right. He's got options to be able to do both. Needs to get rid of the red closest to it. Before he tackles it. Oh, that couldn't have gone much worse. Must admit, Tony, I think the bump was the least favourable option there for me. Because I mentioned bottom right, but it also went pretty comfortably left middle as well.
I didn't like it. I really didn't. When I saw him queuing it, I thought it always was going to push behind those yellows. But...
oh, plan B. Plan B. That's come out okay.
This is a tough pot just purely because he's cushed up as well as the red bean tight to that rail. Played it very well indeed. That's a great shot.
That's lovely.
Well, just when we thought he trapped his fingers in the car door, he's freed himself and he's going to nick the first frame.
Yeah, 1-0 Shaun Sharkey. A good bit of work in the end from the Irishman. It was far from... as I say, I think it was a choice of shot. I think he landed on it in such a way that said, well, be sort of rude not to. Do you know what I mean with that cannon? He landed on a nice angle. Yes, you could play around to avoid it if you wanted to. He thought, well, it feels like a bit of a free go to bump it out. Might as well. But yeah, you had to get it in such a way that, you know, if you bump that red, you had to get it really well to get out of danger to then come into a zone which was nice. So you've got to work through a lot of not good, not good, not good before it becomes good, and that increases your margin for error quite a lot.
Shaun likes to go quite a way across the table with his cue ball for his break shot. It's going to be a cut break. Well, he's made a ball.
Yeah, that he has. It's a little bit a funky layout too. It often is. It feels like a very cut break layout, this. Yellow's... all the focus here centres on that sort of area just below the left centre pocket. 8 ball's tricky on reds. I wonder if that informs his thinking as to the suit he's selected. Because he's got 2 yellows which are a bit of a pain in the backside.
Not only that, he's got to get up to the top left-hand side of the table for those 2 yellows. He doesn't want to be leaving himself for the other side playing plants up there. So there's quite a bit of fancy manoeuvring required.
Oh, well, that's the worst possible outcome.
That's not what I meant by fancy manoeuvring.
No. Yeah, not at all. He's actually a little bit of a touch, really, because he's not left Sheppy anything particularly nice. I think he might have a shot. One of the reds goes up the table, maybe. Can he get through to the red that's closest to the right centre? I think so. No, maybe not. Shaun Sharkey's got very, very fortunate there. That was all that Sheppy had to look at. That's a huge let-off for Shaun Sharkey. And the good news is all the balls are in the open now. Doesn't have any work to do with that. Sort of wildly missed pot careered into the bad area, and all of a sudden these look lovely on yellows.
It's been a very strange frame.
Yeah. Yeah, too right.
Yeah, Shaun Sharkey played a bad shot that's worked out well.
Just needs to connect everything now. Still tricky, mind. You have to get rid of the yellow at the top of the table now.
Yeah, you can't be leaving that till any later.
You got a shot to play here, though.
Yeah, you're going to have to play an awful lot of left-hand side. It's like a left-hand side drag shot. So you sort of flick the cue ball And as you're playing it, you're actually aiming to miss the yellow nearly. I don't know if he's going to play it. I think he's just going to play it plain.
Yeah, plain he does. Holds on the 8 ball.
I think Miata would just like to get down a bit nearer that bottom rail. Now then, that's just taking bottom corners out of the equation. Does he go into the middle, the left side? I think he does. So he's going to have to top the cue ball past the red here. He's digging down. No, he fooled me. He was digging down at the bottom there and then just flicked it with side. Good shot there from Shaun Sharkey. And this for 2-0.
In it goes, a perfect start from Shaun Sharkey. "2-0 the Irishman leads, and if you're watching us live on the Facebooks, this is where we shall leave you. See Charlie McDonough and Kirsty Davies sharing a smile there as they prepare to do a bit of battle in the Women's British Open. Plenty of action still on the outside tables. We'll keep you abreast of all the news as and when it happens. But in the meantime, if you're watching us here on Facebook, we will see you over on Ultimate Pool TV as the British Open concludes on Championship Sunday tonight.
That's a better break there from Jordan. Would have probably preferred the cue ball a little bit more central in the table, but he does have an easy starting yellow that's over the bag, left hand middle. And he needs to get himself into gear. Jordan forced to play the loss of turn. Just not quite there is Jordan. He just looks a bit distant from the match.
Yeah, he's been a bit loose, I think. Every time, we've seen him twice already this weekend, he's not quite been at his mercurial best. I suppose the times I've spoken to him, it's pretty clear why. He's coming into this event pretty cold, at least in an English pool sense, and I think Jordan himself will be quite surprised probably to be at this stage. Pleasantly surprised, of course. Never be sniffed at a quarter-final. But I think there's a part of Jordan that will probably feel, well, he won't feel guilty, I know him, but, I feel a little bit like he's almost cheated it a little bit because he knows he hasn't been playing particularly well. But he must have found some kind of form to beat Carl Sutton 6-3 in the round before. You don't sort of do that without playing well.
No, we spoke about it earlier, myself and Simon Webb. And I spoke to Jordan earlier, well, I think it was late last night actually, and he's had the same cue for 20 years. And because of the repairs and sort of alterations he'd had done to it, he said that it's got to a stage where he can't play all the shots with it because it's worn and it's had pieces fitted to it and taken off. So he got rid of that in November, and he's now on his 5th cue since November. He said he quite likes this one, which that'll be a relief. Playing with a different cue every week or so. But also switching disciplines a little bit, well, quite frequently, can't help. But anyway, he's back in with a good chance here. And boy, is this an important shot for Jordan Shepherd. But be careful with this because the cue ball's very close to the cushion, and he's obviously going to be playing a bit of topspin on the cue ball. Because of the slide off this new table and new cushions, it could go forwards a bit too much. But he's played it very well indeed, and that's more like it from Sheppy. That's perfect. Jordan Shepherd arrives against Shaun Sharkey. He's here.
Yeah, and as the old phrase goes, a wizard, Welsh or otherwise, is never late. He arrives precisely when he intends to.
And here we go. Yes, that was must win for Jordan there. He's very much a momentum player. Very slick and quick around the table, through the balls. A joy to watch when he's in full flow. Shaun Sharkey. I sort of class Shaun Sharkey as a very hard-working professional. He, works hard at his game. His attitude and his professionalism. I mean, that's why he's captain of Ireland. He just has that all in his makeup. And I'll tell you what, that cue ball just escaped that centre back as he's waved his hand up at Jordan Shepherd. I had my mouth was open as I saw the cue ball go. I mean, wow.
Oh, I mean, that's half in, isn't it? I'm amazed that stayed up.
A little bit short there. Shaun. Well, he's got to play this red that he's nearest to. Now, does he cut it in the middle? I suggest he does, because he can get better position onto the red at the top rather than take it up into the top corner, and he converts that red. Really now Shaun has done the hard work. That's bang on. Has a nice angle now to bring the cue ball down the bottom of the table for his last red. And as quickly as Jordan Shepherd got to within one frame of Sharkey. Sharkey's going to project himself back to his two-frame cushion.
He's a good ball, doesn't he, just Shaun? And the one thing that I think you will get, slightly sort of funky tournament, not exactly your usual straight single limb knockout that a lot of these boys will be used to, but they played a lot of pool over the last sort of couple of days, and so no one's sort of coming into this undercooked. You sort of fancy someone like Shaun who's played a lot of matches. You'd hope at least that he's in pretty good nick by now. He looks focused, does the Irishman. It's another excellent break for Jordan Shepherd. That's fabulous. Wowee, what a break. And if he really needed to, and he doesn't, because both these players play quick enough to not really worry too much about the match clock at this early stage. But if Jordan Shepherd had, say, 30 seconds to clear these up, you'd fancy him.
Yeah, absolutely. Sheppy striding around the table now. And the step is getting ever quicker.
Yeah, he didn't take long, did he? We thought that one would go pretty quick. It was a fabulous break from Jordan Shepherd and a rapid finish. He really didn't hang about there. Not that we expected him to. He's just going to take a minute outside of the arena. So whilst he does that, we'll bring you up to speed with what's happening in some of our other tournaments here at the British Open. You can see right there, Kirsty Lee Davies is at the table, the Welsh Wizardess. She's already 1-0 up in her semi-final against Charlie McDonough. Great run to the semis for Charlie, who had a fabulous comeback win against Lucy Smith in the quarter-final. 4-3 down, I think she was. May have even been 4-2, but won it 5-4. Tony's giving me a little look that says 4-3. Kirsty's obviously just missed there. It's going to bring Charlie to the table. But Kirsty already ahead, 1-0 in front. And Mary Talbot is on the hill against Vicky Lomax. That was 2-2. It's now 4-2. I think that's happening right on the far side. Yeah, that's Mary over there, right by table 8, top of your picture. And she's at the table to potentially become the first British Open finalist this weekend.
I don't think it'll be very long before Mary Talbot does land her first.
To the point where it might even be tonight.
Yes, exactly.
I think Kirsty has to be the overwhelming favourite for the tournament at this stage.
Yeah, but a couple of nights ago, funny enough, they both played on the stream table. Kirsty Lee played Barbara Taylor, and I watched a bit of that. And then Mary Talbot was on, I think either just before or just after, I can't remember which, but she won 4-0, and it was an absolute powerful display of cue ball control and precision and just elegance and grace, I will say, as well.
Yeah, she's supremely confident at the moment, and she feels in touch and in stroke, and that combination, when you've got all the ability that she does, is seriously, seriously dangerous. She's got quite a funny frame here against Charlie, who's you see Jordan make his way back into the arena. I think he might have just said something there to Kirsty as he walked past. Those two know each other well.
Well, there's a few flying the Welsh flag at the moment as well in both these events. Obviously, Kirsty Lee there, but we've got Jordan Shepherd, Cole Bedford in the main British Open.
Yeah, Charlie desperate not to give Kirsty the frame. But there's still plenty of work to do there for Charlie. Kirsty, and you can see she's just not being drawn. She's not playing the shot that Charlie wants her to play. And bring it up to date with that one when the result comes through. Should say in the British Amateur Open we have our final set. It's going to be Leo Fernandez against Darren Hope. Darren Hope winning 6-5 in the semi-final against Joe Nolte. And I must say, not hugely surprised to see Leo Fernandez in that final. We saw him on day one, if you remember, play Shaun Sharkey, and he looked really impressive. And yeah, not surprised at all to see him run deep in the amateurs, and indeed has run all the way to the final. He'll take some stopping.
Well done to Darren Hope, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
An old mate of mine he's from Cambridgeshire.
In the plate competition, we're at the quarter-final stage there. Adam Murray and Ronan Fay will do battle in a moment. Sean Ash is awaiting the winner of Ewan Waddle and Rob Chambers. Alex Bailey and Evan Plummer are 1 each, and Andrew Patchett is 3-2 up on young Cohen Bradford. That's in the plate competition. And just the final tournament to bring it up to speed was the women's plate, where Barbara Taylor is through to the final. She awaits the winner of Dawn Wright and Kimberly Jane Holden.
In the meantime, Shaun Sharkey just had a miss that you wouldn't expect. Straight red into the bottom corner, hit the jaws. Now Sheppy with a great chance here to level this match.
On the other side of the draw, by the way, Shaun Slarry and Callum Singleton is 4 each.
I think Shaun Story's the only Englishman left in the main competition.
Yeah. Callum Singleton representing Northern Ireland, of course, in 8 ball. So yeah, it's a full British Isles lineup, bar Scotland.
It's interesting to see which way Jordan's going to go now. He needs to move both these reds to get them out of the way of the black. He's played it off the black. I didn't like that shot. I'm sure Jordan doesn't like it too much now.
Yeah.
Listen, he can get there, so he does have an available position to get in. But it's going to be a bit tricky to get behind that black now. When he's short, very short here. He wanted to be a lot nearer, say, the blue spot, so he could just just stroke the ball with siding and let the cue ball do the work to get on the black. Now it's a bit more, well, the cue ball's going to be going a lot quicker because it's that much thinner, this yellow. He's having a little chat to himself there, he's annoyed. What if you could play the double? You heard a little shout in there, in the arena there from Jordan. Annoyed.
Yeah, and so he should be there. That was a great opportunity.
Shaun Sharkey there just asking for the cue ball to have a quick clean. He didn't like the contact he made on that last pot. Darryl Hibbard provides the service, our referee. And once again we're going to see Shaun Sharkey establish that 2-frame cushion.
Yeah, and he's starting to... I mean, he's starting to smell the finish line, isn't he? At 4-2 in a race to 6. The longer he can... I mean, he's got a lead. He just has to go tit for tat now. Onus is on Jordan to do something special. Pull himself back into it. Shaun Sharkey goes 4-2 in front. Edges closer to a pro semi-final.
That's a fabulous break there from Jordan. I think he wants to rest, does he? Yep. Going to avoid stretching to play it. He's on the yellows. They're all there. But they're all there earlier.
14. Rob Chandler, Shaun Ash. Rob Chandler, Shaun Ash, table 14.
That's a nice shot. Mind you, work territory now for Jordan Shepherd. It's a good chance this to go back within one again. He's starting to control his cue ball better, I think. Didn't get out in the last visit, but that was maybe a choice thing rather than a skill issue, if you like. And Jordan was struggling with when he was last on this table, was just sort of controlling everything. Oh, this looks tight, but obviously it goes. Yeah, sails in. And 4-3, the lead is trimmed back to. Both of these quarterfinals at the moment going down to the wire. Look around. Looks like Lee Davies has just got some work done against Charlie McDonough, and not in that room, I can tell you. Somewhere out on table 16, wherever table 16 is. Shaun Storey and Callum Singleton have just gone hill. 5-all, win that frame, you're in the semi-final. To face either Shaun Sharkey or Jordan Shepherd. Gave that as much as he could. Oh, what a leave. What a leave. What a leave. Stays pretty calm and gives nothing away, Shaun Sharkey, but he'll be so frustrated with this. What on earth can you do from here? He's not even, you know, if he's touching ball, it'd feel a little bit like something.
Yeah, that's grim, to say the least. I mean, all he can do is flick off it and put the cue ball dead to the bottom rail. Well, I don't know. He's trying to pot this in the middle. Oh, hello. I think Shaun Sharkey's just played.
Well, how on earth has he done that?
That's a fantastic shot. Well, because he wasn't touching, he got the cue right up in the air and thought, do you know what, I'm not going to bother trying to play safe, because effectively he probably couldn't. He's always going to leave Jordan something. So he threw caution to the wind, and that was the reward he got.
That's an amazing shot from Shaun Sharkey. Goodness me. At this stage of the tournament, to pull this out of the fire. Oh, that's special. That really is special. If he gets out from here, it will be a potentially match-defining shot.
See, this is tricky now. It's where the cue ball goes after. Well, he tried to get through that little gap. I thought he was playing it into the middle with the other yellow. And in the end, he does let Jordan Shepherd to the table. Slight error there, just the weight of the shot from Jordan Shepherd. So the red's gone behind that yellow now at the bottom of the table, so that's going to need to be shifted, or it will be an incredible shot to get onto that. As you could do it here, if that red passes the yellow into the bottom corner, Probably going to leave it till the last 2 balls. Have to take the one just above him now, surely. This tells us that the red does go past the yellow into the bottom right-hand corner.
Ooh, just got there. It's a good shot in the end. Yeah, well played. Just has to make his mind up about what he wants to do with this 8 ball now. He's got options. Goes to all 6 pockets. So where do you fancy leaving the cue ball? Just don't bring that yellow into play for any reason.
He'll be wanting to leave the black into the middle. That's the ideal pocket. If you just creep this into the middle.
Oh, Jordan.
Another bad bump. Does he have to play the double, or can he? Well, he can get the cut. It's whether the cue ball, if he hits this right, the cue ball should just snip into the jaw of the middle bag. You've got to be careful it doesn't bang into this bottom right-hand corner. He's overcut it.
Wowee.
Oh dear.
You see what I mean, though, about the slight difficulty of that positional shot? See how close it was? And the answer ultimately was not super. But, you know, he's got a decent last red there, but the presence of that yellow just made that 8 ball a little fiddly to get on. And I do just wonder if maybe a shot selection, you just stun back and take it up to the top left and you can't really miss it. You're guilty of being a little bit too cute. Time won't be an issue between these two fellas. More than enough time. But it is opportunity that Jordan Shepherd is lacking currently. Shaun Sharkey climbs the hill and is 1 frame away from a semi-final. It would be his first as an Ultimate Pool Pro. Spoke to him earlier and he felt now that his first year as a pro was in the rear-view mirror that he can sort of say now it's behind him. Yeah, maybe I was just sort of giving myself a year to adapt. Felt like I did some good things, learnt some things. Now I'm settled, I want to go and I want to try and win something. It's been a good start in this, the first event of the year. Jordan Shepherd, not a particularly happy bunny. He knows he's wasted chances. He should be at worst level in this match, in his mind. Brilliant break. Oh, and how is that in off? That may well be all she wrote. Jordan can see the funny side. Sometimes it's not meant to be in this game. Look at the cue ball here. Pretty perfect. Bang. See you later. Reds are pretty good. You just have to open up that one above the right centre and Shaun Sharkey should be a semi-finalist.
I'd rather use the red that's very near the top right-hand corner. Pot that and screw into the red and yellow that's on the rail. I think you're guaranteed to get it out there and you should be able to hold on the other red into the other corner.
Yeah, I'm with you. With that cue ball in hand, you may as well give yourself the best position. Just off that one. Yeah, so now exactly your point. He wasn't guaranteed to have a shot at the top of the table with that. I mean, it should be fine. He can reroute if he wants. He can come down the table to go back up. Not the end of the world. But if he'd have done it off the other ball, and that came out and he wasn't on the ball we played or anything, he's always going to have that one top left. So it is a little bit of a reroute for Sharkey.
I think he'll be happy just to take these 2 reds at the bottom of the table and then go up and take the last 3, because it does lend itself to easier position on the black ball.
Yeah, it does. It's handy, isn't it? Not that I think that was plan A, but as I say, you can make your excuses now.
Hang on a minute. Is he going to have to play a plant?
He's going to have to.
He didn't want to be playing a plant.
That's a poor shot. And do you know what? To sound like Simon Webb here, this all comes down to that first shot selection choice. He's still going to find a way out, and full credit to him.
When you said it to sound like Simon Webb, I thought you were going to start talking about coffee. Well, this is it for Shaun Sharkey. These 2 balls and his first pro semi.
Jordan Shepherd falls at the quarter-final stage. And Shaun Sharkey is a semi-finalist. Super performance from Shaun. He did what he had to do. Sheppy, I think, will be really disappointed in the end with his performance. It wasn't the best. He had moments in there where he could have taken the match away from Shaun. But Shaun was far more clinical and a deserved winner and a deserved British Open semi-finalist.